Hello, good morning, YouTube fam. I apparently am up bright and early today. I guess I'm. Some people say, "Oh, you're chipper." Not really, but I am up early, and I was dressed and ready to go kind of early today. So, um, as I said, good morning. I hope everybody's doing great. I know there's a hurricane. I believe it's barreling down in Louisiana, but I'm not sure. I haven't gotten any updates on it. The only reason I know of it is because my weather people keep saying I'm under a warning. But I think it's hitting Louisiana. And so for anybody and everybody that's involved, directly involved, my prayers go out to you. I want you to be safe. I want you and your family, your friends, everybody to be safe. If you are new here, I am Texas Beach Mom, or Mama Robin if you prefer. And today is Watts Wednesday. But before I go into Watts Wednesday, I want to touch on something. I started doing Friday Night Lives, and I decided to talk about other cases. And I decided to tackle a case that is important to me, and I was hoping it would be better received. It's about Lady Bird Lake here in Texas, because there's been 13 deaths in 20 months, and the police don't think they're connected. Now, I know people drowned in lakes, but if you watch the lives, you'll see that there's more to it than that. But that's it. Like if you've been my replay crew and you've caught them and you like them, leave comments. If you like the idea but not interested in that case, again, leave comments. Now we're on to Watts Wednesday. I do have actually not new information, but I do have a new subject to talk about. Through the years or months or weeks or whatever, that Chris the prick with a toothpick dick, whatever, through the time that he was with Tricky Nikki, he gave her a couple cards. And in each one of those cards, he wrote some poems in these cards. And one of these poems, there's a sentence that particularly stands out. Now, I hadn't really thought about it. A lot of people have made comments about this particular sentence because it's just kind of a weird thing to say. And that's all I chalked it up to. But one of our family members, Darlene, brought it up to me that particular sentence, because she doesn't think it's just weird. She thinks it might mean that they do drugs. And I've had people say that too, that they thought that Chris and Chris the prick, Chris Twats, Tricky Nikki, they thought that those two might be doing drugs. And I kind of blew it off because I don't know that much about Nikki, and yeah, she might be. But I didn't think Chris looked the type. That being said, I didn't think he originally looked the type to kill his wife and his kids either. So I decided to take what she said to me into serious thought. And I did a little bit of mild research. I didn't do a deep dive, but I did do a little bit of mild research. And the sentence that she's talking about, the poem, the sentence that she's talking about, is something about dinner will be every night with ice cream and lollipops. Now, to me, that was just a weird sentence. I'm like, ice cream and lollipops? What are you, 5? And I didn't think more of it. I just really didn't. Maybe that's where I'm naive. But anyway, I didn't think more of it. I just thought it was odd. And I've heard other people make a similar comment about it being odd. Ice cream and lollipops for dinner. And I thought, well, it's just Chris being flirty or whatever. He's awkward. It's just weird. But then I got to think about something she said. And I thought, And she mentioned it might be a drug reference. And I thought, that is weird that those two very specific things are the things he mentioned. Those two very, very specific things are the things he mentioned. And that's a very specific food. It's not just sweets. It's not like, cookies and cupcakes or something. It was very specific and very weird. Ice cream and lollipops. I thought, wait a minute, why those two? Because like I said, it wasn't like he said macaroni and cheese or peanut butter and jelly. Ice cream and lollipops. So like I said, I did a little searching. And I discovered that ice cream is slang for meth. Methamphetamines. And I'm like, oh, holy shit. And then I got to thinking, lollipops. So I did a little bit of research on lollipops. And I was like, lollipops? Jesus Christ. In a lot of cases, lollipops refers to fentanyl lollipops. Now, am I saying that they were druggies? No. Am I saying it's worth a thought? Yes. Because it is. It's just so... It's a bizarre combination, and it's a very specific combination. So, as many times as I heard people think that they were on drugs, I assumed pot, maybe mushrooms once in a while. And I didn't think a whole lot about it, because she was into sex magic and whatnot. So I thought, well, maybe mushrooms, because mushrooms is a very common thing used among some people, some practitioners, because they supposedly enhance your spiritualism, and they make your mind more open and whatever. So when people would say, oh, they must be doing drugs, the first thing that crossed my mind, like I said, would be maybe they get stoned once in a while. I mean, it's Colorado. A lot of people in Colorado get stoned. Or I thought mushrooms is a possibility. But no, ice cream is slang for meth, and lollipops is referred to typically as fentanyl lollipops. So maybe they were doing drugs. Maybe it was way more intense than pot and mushrooms. I don't know. I thought it was something worth looking into. I thought it was something to talk about. So as usual, and you see this video, like I said, if you're, I didn't mention it. I thought I had. If you are a return family member and you're watching this, I'm always open for discussion, always. And if you're a return, like I said, if you're new, I'll tell you right now, I prefer discussions. I would like you to leave comments. If you have questions, ask them. Maybe we can do some research together. That's kind of why I started doing the Friday Night Lives, was because I'm kind of wanting people to get more involved in a discussion. And as I said, I'm looking for different cases I can discuss, because for the most part, there's just nothing new with Chris Watts. There's no new information. Now, this thing about drugs is not new information, but it's information that most people aren't thinking of. And while it doesn't solve the case, and it definitely doesn't give him an excuse, he's where he needs to be. No doubt. But it's also possible that Nicole needs to be there too. There's just too much evidence popping up that puts her at the house, either that night or that morning. There's videos that keep surfacing that are, sometimes they're older videos, and sometimes, or they're not surfacing, they're resurfacing, or sometimes they're new videos from people I've never heard of. But there's just too much going on that put her at that house, either that night, or according to Chris's confession to Dylan, that morning. Because he said, now, I know we've discussed this 1,000 times, and he lies. And I know he lies. We all know he lies. But he does tell some truth. He has said that after he killed Shanann, he called Nicole. He didn't call the police. He didn't call anyone else. He called Nicole. And he told Nicole what he did, and Nicole said she would be over there in a little bit. And it was apparently Nicole that told me that since Shanann's dead, you might as well go ahead and kill the girls, and it'll be just us. And he said, okay. It was Nicole, apparently, that told him to take the girls to work and get rid of them there, which explains her wanting a picture proof that he was there. And according to him, it was Nicole that told him she would get rid of Shanann's body, or she would have somebody get rid of Shanann's body, which kind of explains the theory of her being taken out back and over the fence and loaded into a vehicle that was parked out back, like her truck or Jim's vehicle or something. So there's just other things that pop up. The ping bothers a lot of people because she doesn't normally ping there unless she's there. She doesn't ping there on the way to work. She didn't even go to work that day, according to Chris. She didn't even go to work. She didn't call in. To the best of what I can find, she didn't even call in sick. She just didn't go to work that day, I guess. Or if she did go, she went later, but there's no evidence of her even going that day. And she said she was sick. I mean, when you call in sick to hide a body, you're not calling work and saying, hi, it's me, Nicole Kessinger. I'm not going to be in today because I got to bury my boyfriend's wife. So I'm going to be really busy today. I'm not going to have a lot of time. I just won't be in. No, you don't call in and say, I'm calling in sick so I can bury my boyfriend's wife. No. You call and say, this is Nicole. I'm sick today. I'm not going to make it in. Cough, cough, sneeze, sneeze, and I'm not going to be there. And then you go bury the body. Because, that's how that's done. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments about my Friday Night Lives, because they're not doing well, and I really hope they would take off, please, leave your comment, leave your questions. I will get to them. If you have any comments or thoughts or questions about the possibility of them doing drugs, the only research I've done so far just took me straight to the fact that ice cream is slang for crystal meth or methamphetamines or meth, whatever. And then lollipops are usually referred to as, it's usually talking about fentanyl lollipops. So there you go. They might have been on drugs. Again, that doesn't excuse their behavior, but it kind of does explain some of it, between let's put it this way. If he's got those stripe patches on, I don't know what's in those, but if he's hyped up from those stripe patches and he does a little bit of meth to tweak, and then he throws in some fentanyl on top of that, shit, no telling what he was doing, If that's the case, no telling. So, that's all I have for today. Like I said, if you're in the hurricane path, or if you have friends or family, my heart goes out to you. I pray for you and your safety. Or anybody involved, I pray for their safety. If other than that, I want to be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. If it's your birthday, then happy birthday. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And everyone be safe. Make good decisions. I love you, and I'll see y'all later.